Hey guys, Nike here. I wanted to continue my series on best boost builds. This is a series that is targeted at players who have just hit their level 80 boost. They are new to Guild Wars 2 and they want to know what build they should play utilizing the gear they got with their level 80 boost. And I'm trying to keep it low budget. As I will discuss in this video, there are high budget options for sure, especially with this particular build, but I'm going from the point of view that the player who uses this is new to Guild Wars 2 and might only have like 15 or 20 gold. I would recommend obviously that you do have some gold, whether you have to swipe your credit card and buy some gems to give you a little bit to start with if you're just going to go right into a level 80 boost, because there are some things that you're gonna have to buy no matter what build you play. So with that said, let's get into this build and talk about it today. Obviously we are talking, as you can see, about the Revenant. So if you are a Revenant and you hit your level 80 boost, my advice would be to put points into Renegade. Renegade will if you only have a few hero points to spare, just unlocking Renegade is a good place to start with, so you can equip the short bow, and then as you progress through Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire, you will be able to unlock the spec as you go through. But what we are going to do today is look at the Renegade build that I've chosen, and as you will see, it is very straightforward, very simple, and it's very similar to the Trailblazer Renegade, that build guide that I did elsewhere on my channel, which is more of an end game version of this build. But this build will definitely get you where you need to be with just your level 80 boost gear. So as you can see, we're playing Renegade. We are using Kala and Malix as our two stances. It's going to be sort of a Condi based build. Our only weapon is going to be one short bow. There is no short bow in the level 80 boost, so you will have to buy one. You probably can't buy as far as I know, you can't buy a stat selectable exotic short bow with on the trading post. However, there is a celestial short bow on the trading post. I believe it is. I forget the name. There's an exotic celestial short bow on the trading post, and it's very cheap. It's only a couple gold, so you can buy that no problems, no questions asked. So let's get into the specializations. We're going to take Corruption, Devastation, and Renegade. The choices that we're taking in Corruption are to boost our damage. Diabolic Inferno, Pact of Pain, Acolyte of Torment. These are just to get us where we need to be in terms of damage. Devastation, we take Battle Scarred, Thrill of Combat, and Dance of Death. These all have a synergy with each other. Essentially what Battle Scars is, it's a buff that when you do damage, your next, or when you inflict vulnerability, essentially, your next, thanks to Dance of Death, your next attack steals health. This build will inflict a lot of vulnerability, which in a great deal of sense will come from Ice Razor's Ire, which is essentially a damage skill and a heal skill all in one. It's our best damage skill and our best heal skill all in one. But basically the point is we inflict vuln, we self-heal. This build will have a tremendous amount of self-healing and self-sustain. It is very hard to die unless you are kind of intentionally inting with this build. Super good. So yeah, Corruption for more damage, Devastation for more sustain, and then Renegade, we're going with Blood Fury, Heart Piercer, and Vindication. This is going to give us a ton of damage. Might, Fury, condition damage, more bleeds, everything's good. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going in depth. If you really want to go in depth about what every little trait does and all the different choices, I have a whole endgame guide for a similar build to this where we go into depth. And since I'm targeting this at new players, I could go on and explain why we take every choice, what they all do. If you're a new player, it's probably going to be a little bit lost on you, to be quite honest. So just take my word for it that these are the right choices to play. And as you go through the game, you'll be able to kind of understand why and experiment and read more in depth. So then looking at equipment, full Celestial, as you get from your boost set, again, you do need to buy a Celestial short bow. There is, as I said, a unique exotic tier Celestial short bow on the trading post that you can buy, so that should be actually quite affordable. Now, the other things that you're gonna have to buy are runes and sigils, because unfortunately the rune of the Revenant that comes with your boost gear is not very good, and the sigils that come with your boost gear I don't think complement what we're trying to do with this build. What you will want to buy is a superior sigil of demons and a superior sigil of agony. With our rune choice, which is also, you're going to need to buy 6 superior rune of the Balefires. Essentially, with these selections, the demons, the agony, and the 6 Balefire runes, it gets us enough condition duration so that we have 100% burning, nearly 100% torment, and nearly 100% bleeding. Those are our main 3 damage skills anyway, so we want to be close to 100%, and it gets us where we need to be. Superior Rune of the Balefire is a budget choice. Obviously, in my opinion, if you had unlimited money, 6 superior runes of tormenting would be the way to go. However, tormenting runes are like 15 gold each. Again, you can refer to my endgame Condi Herald guide that I have elsewhere on my channel, where I talk about how overpowered tormenting runes are. But a lot of the self-sustain, unlike the Herald build, with this Renegade build, a lot of our self-sustain comes from being able to inflict vulnerability with Ice Razor's Ire on the mobs to give us more battle scars, to give us more healing. So we're not as reliant on the tormenting rune for our sustain. Therefore, we can take a damage rune like Superior Rune of the Balefire, which are very cheap. I think you can buy each of them for like 3 silver each, and so for less than 30 silver, you should be able to get all 6 of these runes. The runes are great. They give us more power, and this build with Celestial stats and the short bow actually does do a lot of power damage. It gets us burning duration, Condi duration, all things we want, and it converts 7% of our power into expertise. Expertise is general condition duration. So thanks to Celestial gear and thanks to this rune, we do have a lot of power. Some of it gets converted into expertise, and that is why, despite being a Celestial build, we have nearly 100% condition duration on all of the conditions that we want to inflict on the enemy. So, all of that said, this is the build. I wanted to keep it short but sweet. You guys know what to do. And before we close that out, I'm gonna go back to the skills and talk about the playstyle a little bit. You're a new player. If you're running this build, you probably want to just experiment with everything and play with everything, press all the buttons, see what every button does. But I'm just gonna let you know the most important skills that you have on the build are Citadel Bombardment. If the target is a big stationary target, this is your highest damage skill that you have in your bar. Ice Razor's Ire is also a very high damage skill. It inflicts vulnerability, which, as we said, also heals you. So vulnerability does increased damage on the monster that has the vulnerability, and it's going to give you battle scars, so it's going to be a major heal. So if you're under pressure, you can drop Ice Razor's Ire, you will heal, the mobs will take more damage. It's just a great skill to be using on cooldown. Your heal skill is also good, and it also heals your allies, so you want to be sure to use Break Razor's Bastion when needed. Your best shortbow skills are 7-Shot, Spirit Crush, and Bloodbane Path. I would save your Scorch Razor for times that you want to do CC. As a damage skill, it's not particularly great, but you definitely want to use 7-Shot and Spirit Crush off cooldown and fill in the blanks with Bloodbane Path. However, when those skills are all 3 on cooldown, hey, your Shadow Shot, your auto attack, is a great auto attack, and you should definitely use it. When you run out of energy, you want to swap to your Demon Stance, and you want to use Embrace the Darkness. Embrace the Darkness makes an AoE around you that inflicts torment on anyone within the AoE. Really good skill, and it will do a ton of damage. The rest of the skills are kind of defensive utility. You don't really need them. Your heal skill is your heal skill. Use it when you need it. But for the most part, when you're in demon stance, you want to use Embrace the Darkness. When you use Embrace the Darkness, you will run out of energy eventually, especially if you're using your weapon skills, and you'll swap back to Kala, your Renegade stance, and be able to use your Ice Razor's Ire again and your weapon skills and all of that. I know I went really fast in this video, so if you are a new player and you're just seeing this, please watch it multiple times if needed to kind of get a figure for what I'm saying, and especially watch it and listen to what I'm saying while you're playing with the build in game, so you can kind of play along with what I'm telling you. But anyway, guys, that is it. I hope this guide was helpful for any of you new Revenant players out there who just used your level 80 boost and you want to get right into the end game with a competent build that will be able to do all content. If that's the case, you're welcome. And if you have any comments, please leave them below, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Thanks.